Very nice to be here, Mr. Sinister Freeze. Sinister Freeze, we should call you today. Because of technical difficulties, because PlayStation is like that, we had to use C Freeze's account in order to stream this event. So, yes, Mr. Freeze, Sinister, Al, Freeze, let's get on to qualifying here in Azerbaijan. Yeah, it should be very, very close. It's only 20 points separating the two drivers, both of them sharing 3 wins over the course of this championship, with 5 rounds to go, the next round being a very good one that I recommend that you should watch for next week. It should be a fantastic race, but we won't spoil the location just yet. We'll wait until the end of the race. But yeah, it's shaping up to be quite the nice championship. 20 points separating the top two, Blim Machine and F1 Racer, and only 9 points separating the top two manufacturers in this championship. Renault leading on 171 and only 9 points behind is Haas F1 team on 162. But it's a big blow for the Renault team, as Dorian Alpha is not here for Azerbaijan. It's only Sir Charles. Where in comparison for Haas, both Death Wish Tricky and Nelsie Baby are here. So this could be a big turning point for the American team. Stephen! Oh, wait. I thought you'd be riding on board with Stephen. He was the first driver. That wins. Oh! Ben Swerven's in the wall. Ben Swerven. At the moment.
Okay, I think we're good now. I think my mic is going through now. I went through and fixed it. So we're looking. So sorry for the issues and all that, but we're back and live here from Baku for round 11 for TCR Season 9. For the silver class here today, I've had to do a second intro because of all of the issues that we're having.
I didn't realize. Your mic sounds perfectly good in my ear. That's all right though. Luckily, it's qualifying and not the race, and luckily we caught the issue just before the proper beginning.
And the big incident for Ben Swerven is he's gone straight into the wall. As I think it's in the final sector somewhere. He's had a massive contact. With the barrier there.
He's just driven himself into the wall, it seems. Where is that, turn 15?
In a very dangerous location as well. He is around the racing line as there's a Renault who almost spins out trying to avoid him at Sir Charles. So we're going to right on board at Sir Charles here, who's on his flying lap on the medium compound tire. So we'll see the type of lap that he's able to set down. Sir Charles is third in point standings. He's just a few points back from F1 Racer, who's second in points. So we'll see the type of lap so Sir Charles can get set as he's blasting down the pit straight now, comes across the line. He goes to P3 on the medium compound tire. So it's a CO04, I think that's how you say it, in first position with a 139.0, and Deathwish Tricky goes up to P2 with a 139.4.
Yeah. So at the moment, it's very close between the top three, only half a second separating them. All of them on the same compound as well. I'm just going to try and find the strategy around this place because it's been a while since I've been at Baku City Circuit. It's quite a nice racetrack as well, quite the unorthodox racetrack. It's quite fast and flowing for a street circuit. As Nelsie Baby goes fastest, a 1 minute 38.954 for the Haas driver. Looking good for Haas at first and third at the moment.
Yep.
Let's see what the rule.
That's a fantastic lap there from Nelsie Baby. He is the first driver to set a time in the 138. So a CO is about a tenth off of that, but he may be able to improve here as we look at the timing. He's a second up. He's a second down on his previous time, so he'll probably be aborting this lap. Looking through the rest of the field, trying to find some notable drivers. So the points leader is still in the pits for the time being. An F1 racer now is on his out lap, so he's going to try and set a and go to pole position here to try and take away a few points from Blend Machine in this very heated championship battle.
And he'll need it as well. With only 5 rounds remaining, every time he loses to Blend Machine, it's just going to make this climb towards the championship a hell of a lot harder to try and achieve that sort of goal. But F1 Racer is now coming into Sector 3 to start his first flying lap. He's on the medium tyre as well, so don't be too surprised if he doesn't go straight up to pole position. But I've just checked with the race strategy. You want to start on either the softs or mediums and you go on to the hards. It's a one-stop strategy here in Baku. So probably the mediums would be the better tyre to start off with because the hards will, they last, but you don't want to have 20 or so lap old hards towards the end of the race. It would be absolutely horrible to drive on. But here we go, F1 Racing. Going through turn 1 into turn 2, third gear, second, there we go. But does it short shift to third? Okay, he keeps it in second. I thought he might short shift there just to try and minimise wheel spin, but he does well. Coming up the back straightaway, 204 miles an hour. Second gear, turns in for the 90-degree left-hander. That's Sector 3 yellow flags. I think that's just a slow car. Through turn 4, now into turns 5 and 6. A very difficult section, often overlooked, but that sausage curve on the inside really does throw the car about. You have to be quite careful, otherwise it might shoot you off into the outside wall. Coming into turn 7, you have to really try and cut this. He doesn't, though. Lost a little bit of time there from what you can try and get. Now through the notorious castle section, only 7 meters wide through that bit, or about 3 and a bit Formula 1 cars wide.
Very clean through there. Very, very clean there.
He's doing an absolutely superb job on these tyres as well. It looks like a very good lap. Coming into turn 15, now a lot of the really, really good races will hop over those curbs at turn 15. I tend to not to because I don't want the car to spear off into the wall. I'm not a big fan of hopping a Formula 1 car over these curbs. Very unsettling. But now coming up into the third sector, 1.3 miles, absolutely flat out, from turn 16 all the way up to turn 1. And here he comes up to the line. It's a 40.1, the fastest of the medium runners so far. Puts him P7.
So it's a solid lap there from the man who is second in championship standings, who needs as many points as he can get to try and catch up to Blend Machine, who is yet to set a lap yet, but he's just now started his flying lap as the out lap thing has gone off the leaderboard. So we're going to follow Blend here. On his flying lap, he's down to second gear and out of turn 2, I do believe. He's on a DRS now, up to 6th. Now into 7th, 200 miles an hour, approaching turn 4 now.
About the same top speed as well between himself and F1 Race. So both of them reaching 204 miles an hour into the braking zone. So I imagine they have fairly similar setups between them. And he's purple in Sector 1 as well. This is looking like a good lap from Blend Machine.
And we wouldn't have expected anything else from the current championship leader as he attacks the castle section now very cleanly. no fear at all through arguably the hardest corner in motorsports. As he heads down to the run to Sector 3 now, we'll see the type of lap he's setting here. Very challenging corner this, and he absolutely nails it, pushing the car to its absolute limits. He comes across the timing line, and I don't know his delta, but he's looking fast as he comes onto the final straight now. As Smeg said before, 1.3 miles, absolutely flat out. He's full attack on the ERS. He's turned on the DRS. 215 miles an hour almost, comes across the line, and he goes to P3. So I think he lost a tad bit of time there in the third sector. But look at that. A CO04 goes to P1 in the Red Bull. So fantastic lap there from a CO with a 1:38.4.
That's half a second quicker than Nelsie, baby. That is an awesome lap time. Obviously, he feels pretty confident around the street circuit. That's absolutely awesome. Sir Charles now jumps into P2, a 38.785. So Blin Machine, that wasn't... I hope he has more pace up his sleeve as the championship leader, but he might just not be too comfortable around this circuit. We'll have to wait and see. Still plenty of time left in the session.
Blin is just a tad off pace, as you said, but here at Baku, it shouldn't be that huge of an issue since there are so many passing opportunities. It's definitely tricky now. Goes up to P2 in the Haas. It's looking like a great day for Haas as they are currently lined up in positions 2 and 4 as Deathwish Tricky. So it's a 1:38.6 to put the Haas into P2.
But Sir Charles is doing what he needs to do for his team. Renault currently occupying the third slot on the grid, splitting the two Haases. He needs a very good result here to keep that championship alive for the Renault team. But yes, it's looking like a superb day for Haas F1. It seems... I think everyone's either on an in-lap or on an out-lap, it seems.
I'm looking at Tricky now, and I don't know if this was true or not, but it said that he was 0.8 up through Sector 1, but then he just crossed the line, and it said he was 11 seconds down, so I don't know if that was if that was a visual glitch of some sort, but yes, so Tricky now is going to abort his lap and head into the pits to try and build up some speed to go for another flying lap. Sir Charles now is heading to the pits. Everyone going ahead into the pits and put on a fresh set of tires to set their final flying laps. Here comes Steven, I think, who's on a flying lap. He's only about 12 thousandths down at the moment as he heads into the final straight. Onto the pit straight, flat out. He shifts late into 8th to try and get as much horsepower as he can. Then he turns on the DRS, almost out of ERS. He's pushing it to the absolute limits. We'll see what the lap time's looking like. Comes across the line, and it's good enough to put him ahead of the championship leader, Blin Machine. So Steven goes to P5.
That is a very nice lap indeed, and those are 2-lap-old soft compound tyres, so if he comes in and gets a fresh set, he's got a lot more pace up his sleeve that he can really get out of this car. So expect the Toro Rossos to just maybe climb up the leaderboard a little bit more. They're currently 6th and 5th and 6th rather, and hopefully we might see a really nice battle for pole position here between a couple of drivers. Let's see.
Full lead. So it doesn't look like anyone is on their flying lap at the moment. I think everyone is pulling into the pits pretty soon here. I'm going to look to the field, see if we can find it. I think that Fire Up Flow has just started his flying lap in the McLaren, so we'll see if he can improve on his time of a 1:41.1, which is not that great of a time, so he's going to have to pull out a lot to try and improve on this time, and excuse the background noise. That's my dog barking outside, and please excuse that. Not a lot that I can do about that. So here comes Fire Up Flow as he heads into the run to the castle section. We'll see how he takes it. And a little bit of contact there on the wall. He's going to lose a whole lot of time there, and he might want to abort this lap and back up and try again. Very unfortunate there for Fire Up Flow.
Yeah, and I think his teammate F-Ball is on a flying lap, currently in P8, a much more respectable time of a 1 minute 40.023. Just going to check his times. He's not looking good at the moment. He's way down in Sector 2, so I think he might be just lining himself. No, he's going into the pit lane, so he's going to scrap that lap and he's going to try and do another. With 2 minutes and 49 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be tight, but I think he'll make it.
So F1 racer now is on a flying lap as he comes across
my eye as well.
Sector 2 timing line, and he's 8/10 up. F1 racer is looking like he's on a fantastic lap here. He's going to have to find a few more tenths through the final sector if he wants a chance at pole position. But this is going to put him well into the top 10, I do believe.
Well, he's lining himself up for a 39.3 if he doesn't improve, which will put him P7. Let's see, he'll come up to the line. Oh, he's lost a little bit of time in the third sector. It's only 8, but I think from the way he's attacked turn 1, he's going to do another lap. Going through turn 2, very hot indeed. Still in mode 5, hot lap mode in the ERS. So I think he might be doing another lap.
Very ambitious there. I don't know if he will have enough ERS to make another lap, and those tires are probably already dead. So it's going to be very interesting to see if F1 Racer can try and set a somewhat decent lap time here.
Well, his quest for pole position might ruin his race strategy. Currently in P8, if he invalidates this lap or the next one, he'll have to start on these tyres. And as you said, they're most likely very destroyed at this point. So it's not looking too good for the Mercedes-Benz driver at this stage. Hopefully he can find some more places, but at the moment he's buried in the mid-pack in P8. Let's see. I'll check his Sector 2 time. He's coming up to it now into the braking zone of turn 16.
He's 4
He's
tenths
up
up.
by 4 tenths.
He's looking very quick here. This is good enough for P5 almost. I don't know if he has enough ERS to gain time on the straight or not, but we will have to find out. He's in the mode 4 now, and the ERS is sitting at 3%. It's going to be very close. He's turning on DRS. Approaching 210 miles an hour. Don't know if that's fast enough. Comes across the line, and he goes to P3. It's a very fast lap from F1 Racer. A very, very clutch lap there indeed from F1 Racers. That puts him 4 spots ahead of his main championship rival, Blend Machine. So a fantastic lap there from F1 Racer as he retires from the session.
Yeah, he desperately needed that lap. Being buried in the mid-pack here in Baku is not a nice thing, particularly on lap 1. He's done very well to crack the top 2 rows, but he has to be careful of the drivers behind. I'm looking at Sir Charles, and unfortunately he's made a mistake in the castle section, so I don't think he'll be attacking third place.
Blend Machine is on a flying lap. He crossed the line with 1 second left. That was a buzzer beater and a half on Blend Machine, so he's gotten one more chance to try and take away pole from a CO04. I still don't know if I am saying his name the right way or not. A Keo, a CO04. I'm not sure how to say it. But Blend Machine, we'll see how fast he's looking. I didn't see his delta through Sector 1, but he's heading
to come up now, pretty close. As a CO, I think you're pronouncing it right. I think it is a CO. Oh, he's coming in, so he's not going to improve his lap. But Death Wish Tricky goes to pole position. It's pole for Haas at this stage. A 1 minute 38.
Oh!
Scratch that. Arrow Fist Len in the Mercedes-Benz goes fastest, a 38.1. So it's all down to Blend Machine to see whether or not he can take pole. And he's in mode 0. He must have invalidated his time.
And I caught that on stream. Blend had a small bit of a moment coming out of the gas section. He got loose and almost spun and lost almost a full second. So he decided to abort his lap. But what a fantastic lap from Arrow Fist Zen in the Mercedes. I didn't even see it on stream, if I'm being honest, which I feel very bad about. But he goes to pole position, and they'll start from P1 here at Baku. Fantastic effort there from Aerofist Zen. And not only him, but that's a fantastic effort from the entire Mercedes crew. So he's going to start on pole, and F1 Racer will start the race from P4.
Oh, I did not see that coming at all. If I was expecting Mercedes-Benz to be on pole position, I would definitely have picked F1 Racer. But that is an awesome lap from Aerofist then. That is absolutely awesome. Almost 2/10 of a second quicker than Deathwish Tricky. But, oh my goodness me. That is not a good qualifying position for Blim Machine. He's got a lot of work to do, particularly at the start, to make sure he gets to the finish, let alone into a good position. What a great little bit of qualifying that was.
So looking at the final qualifying results from Baku, it's Aerofist Zen who is going to lead the field to green, and Tricky will start P2, a CO P3, F1 Racer P4, Sir Charles P5, Nelsie Baby P6, Steven P7, and the championship leader of Blim Machine in P8. Goldo Rator, I butchered that, in P9. Fire Up Flow in P10. Fireball, I screwed that one up, but he's in P12. And that's all that I could get without the game just kicking me out. So we're getting lined up for what should be a classic of a Baku Grand Prix. And the sun's out, so no rain, which could be a good thing because Baku is crazy enough. So rain would just make this incredible.
Oh, well, at least it's no rain for now. We'll have to wait and see at the end of the race. The game does tend to throw little obstacles like that towards the end, just throwing in a little bit of rain, a little bit of cloud cover here and there, just for the drivers to, stay aware towards the end of this race. But the drivers just fine-tuning their setups, fine-tuning the fuel loads and whatnot, and getting ready for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at Baku. As Sinister said, this should be a pretty awesome race, particularly the start. The starts are incredibly chaotic, and the first 10 laps are usually where the most of the highlights take place. After that point, though, the race tends to settle down a little bit. Just, it takes sort of a back seat. Drivers start to be more cautious. Drivers start pretty much turning themselves into survival mode to try and get to the end of this race.
Yeah, but it should be very action-packed for all 26 laps here.
As we're still loading.
Yeah. It's still loading for some reason. We've had this happen before. We've had to restart the lobby because of some issues after qualifying. So we'll see. Someone's taking a long time to get their setup in.
There we go, we've got the second count in there.
And now we're going to get ready to go. As the countdown's on until the formation lap gets underway. So Smeg, what are your keys to the race here at such a crazy track?
Well, first of all, survival is paramount, particularly on the first lap. This track, as I said before, it's quite unorthodox. It's a very fast street circuit, a lot of high-speed zones. There are some low-speed zones, particularly the castle section. But the high-speed nature of the circuit, coupled with the narrowness of Baku as well, it's quite an easy place to just lose a front wing, to lose your rhythm, and to absolutely ruin your race. And on lap one, it's very much survival, particularly for drivers in the midfield. If you're in that mid-pack, sort of from position 6 down, I'd imagine, you're in a bit of trouble on lap one. You really need to try and get through that first little phase. And after that, it's more or less making sure you take every opportunity given to you. This track, you've got two very big and obvious overtaking zones at turn 1 and turn 3 that come after DRS zones. But other than that, there are not many places to overtake around here. Maybe turn 16, the first corner in the final sector, but you don't want to risk it because then the guy you overtook now has DRS into turn 1. So I think with these guys, for the first 10 laps is try and get through those first 10 laps and try and survive. Then after that is making sure you take every opportunity given to you, because there's going to be very few opportunities around a circuit as tight, as twisty, as narrow, and as dangerous as this one. Other than that, there's not too much to worry about. Strategy is very straightforward, soft, medium start. Actually, what are the drivers going to start on? Okay, so the top 10 are on the softs, because that's what they qualified on. And from 11th through 18th, mediums, except for Turkey Whacker. He's starting on the soft tyre as well. So the strategies aren't going to be too split up. Everyone here's going to pit onto the hard tyre and try and get to the end of the race on the one stop. But of course, the thing that everyone needs to remember about is the safety car. They do come out here at Baku. Big accidents can happen here, so yeah.
Almost a guarantee for safety car to occur at Baku. So Arrow Fist Zen, the pole sitter here at Baku, is going to lead the field into the grid slots to start what should be an instant classic in TCR history, if not sim racing history.
Let's see, the drivers are lining up. I also just checked with the results table. This is the first pole position for Arrow Fist Zen in the championship. This is his 4th race, I believe, in the championship. Best result of 6 for Mercedes-Benz. So it's a very nice piece of work there by the Mercedes-Benz driver to get pole position, particularly at a time like this where both championships are very much up for grabs still with 5 rounds to go.
Here we go as the eyes of the drivers look at the lights. We're getting ready to go for 26 laps, 97 miles here from Azerbaijan. Eyes on the lights, and the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is green, and it looks like a very good start from Arrow Fist Zen. It looks like the Red Bull has gotten a good start. He might be able to jump up to P2. He's on the outside. He might be forced to the wall, but no, he stays in P3. So Deathless Tricky holds on to P2, and F1 Racer is into P3, it looks like, as he has moved past the Red Bull side by side for P5. It looks like it's Steven and Sir Charles as they have sold themselves out. But Sir Charles, I think, may look to make a move here, but Nelsie Baby is going to try and make a move on the Renault. I do believe it. In the back, it looks like that there's a whole lot of battling and a big contact. And it's the championship leader. Blend Machine has hit the wall, and there's some big wing damage on the... What? Huge moment.
Oh, dearie me. That's not good for the championship leader. I said first 10 laps is all about survival, and it's not looking good for the championship leader. A broken wing here is a big problem, particularly in that third sector where it requires so much downforce. Now, he's in 9th place. Coming into the pits, he will have to go all the way to the back of the pack. He'll be praying for a safety car. Either that or he tries and stays out, but he's going to be a sitting duck with that front wing. So, not looking good for the championship leader at all.
Not good at all for Blend Machine, the man who is 20 points clear of F1 Racer. But after today, F1 Racer might just take the lead away if he can scoop up a race win here. So back at the front of the field, it's Arrow Fist Zen who leads from Deathless.
Oh, and into the wall! Into the wall! Both McLarens at Sector 3. Dearie me, both of them go in. What turn is that? Turn 19, that fast right-hander. Both of them got wing damage. And in comes Blend Machine and both McLarens. So the McLarens are going to have to double stack.
What a horrible moment for the championship leader. He's essentially just throwing it away at this point. The championship lead is going to take a massive blow after this as Fire Up Flow and Weebs 07 is going to double stack here for McLaren after a very unfortunate moment that I did not catch on stream because I was focusing on the race leader. So thank you for pointing that out and directing my attention to that. So back up front, it's Arrow Fist Zen leading from a second over Tricky. Then it's F1 Racer, then a CO04. It looks like everything's tame at the front so far.
But all it takes is one mistake, particularly at the castle section, for there to be a massive pile-up. That's the problem with the first 10 laps. It's just one driver. All it takes is just a missed braking point, a little too early on the throttle, particularly through the castle section, to just cause a massive, massive accident. We've got a Williams at turn 2, Robin Hood Lawyer, just having a moment, just causing localized yellows. And at the moment, Arrow Fist Zen is doing a superb job, has opened up a 1.2 second margin to Death Wish Tricky, which is very key around a circuit like this with its massive DRS zones. So, it's doing an absolutely superb job for Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, so far...
Yes,
so far...
It really needs to make this count.
So far, a very great drive from both Mercedes drivers.
Sir Charles.
And this will help them in the... And what's happened to Sir Charles is he's coming to the pits. He must have picked up some wing damage of some sort from some type of incident.
Missing end plate. Deary me. And that's a massive blow for Renault in the Constructors' Championship. Look at that, 2nd and 6th now for Renault. I mean, there's still plenty of racing to go ahead, but looking at this stage, I think Renault might be losing the lead in the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, indeed. Haas is looking very, very strong at Tricky in P2 and Nelsie in P6. So Arrow Fist in still leading. He's putting on a clinic so far as he is expanding the gap more and more each corner. Tricky's is using everything in his power to try and catch up to him. CO hangs on to P3. F1 Racer is holding his on at P4. Steven is having a great race in P5 so far. And Nelsie Baby is the last car in this lead train.
Yeah, then falling back to Golderator in P7, almost 2 seconds behind Nelsie Baby in P6. He's got Black Angel on the mediums, the first driver on the medium compound tyre in 8th place, so he'll be running very long first stint. He's going to be nice and quick towards the end of the race on the hard tyre in comparison to the front runners, so he'll be trying to make a late race comeback towards the end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But yeah, as you said, everything seems to be pretty tame. We do have a kind of battle between F1 Racer Steven and Nelsie Baby for P4, but that hasn't really turned into anything at this stage. The two drivers behind Steven and Nelsie Baby, they just haven't quite got the run yet to try and overtake one of the championship contenders. So at this stage, I think they're just trying to get through, and then perhaps once the first pit stops come around,
battle for P7 at the moment. As Black Angel is looking to the inside of Gold, and he makes the move stick as he forces Gold wide and performs a fantastic overtake. So Black Angel has moved his way up to P7, and Gold will have to settle for P8. As now Steven and Nelsie Baby side by side through a section of the track where you do not. Let me go side by side through as he goes to the inside once again. That's never going to work, but somehow these drivers, they met at work, but hey, side by side into the castle section, no. They know a lot better than to do that. So Nelsie Baby now is moved up to P5 ahead of Steven, but I feel like this battle is far, far from over.
Yeah, I agree. These two are battling quite well together, but as a result, like these two were fighting F1 Racer, they're now 2.1 seconds behind the Mercedes-Benz. That's how much time you lose from just battling. And look, Black Angel has introduced himself to this battle in P7. So we got a three-way fight for 5th place now. Oh, wait. Has Steven got wing damage?
I think he does. So here comes Black Angel to the inside of Steven.
Yeah, there we go.
It's either that or Black Angel's on an absolute tear here, but I think he's going to be able to make the move stick with ease, and yes, he does, but it looks like that Steven is going to have a run on him again. He looks to the inside. They're going to be side by side heading in turn 1. Who gets the upper hand? Looks like Steven for now, but I think that Black Angel, I think he got a better exit, so he's going to look for a run here as he turns on the DRS. We'll see if Black Angel can try and make a move. He's right up his gearbox. He's going to look to the outside to see if he can try and make a move stick. Can Black Angel make it work? And he does beautifully. He outbrakes him and performs the overtake to perfection.
That is an absolutely superb and clinical move by Black Angel around the outside, using the DRS to his advantage. And I think at this stage of the race, I know it's only 5 laps in, but these softs are going to start switching off. It's going to be around about here that the soft tyres are going to start switching off and the mediums are going to start switching on. So I don't think Nelsie Baby is going to be holding on to that 1.3 second lead over Black Angel for long. I think Black Angel is going to come right up behind that Haas's gearbox. Stephen's in the wall!
Big incident!
Oh!
It's Stephen in the wall! I'm not sure what's happened, but Stephen has found himself into the outside wall. That's a very unfortunate situation there for Toro Rosso. Just not a good race for them at all. And he spins again! And he's backed it into the wall. Now he's in a very, very dangerous location on track. This might be able to pull out a safety car if he doesn't move in time.
Yes.
But
here
comes a Ferrari. Yeah, it's going to be dangerous. Here comes his teammate of Blend Machine. And yeah, he gets by him with no hassle there. But very unfortunate moment there for the Toro Rosso team. But up at the front, I think it's Aerofist Zen who's made his pit stop. And a CO will assume the race lead.
We have a crash at the castle section.
Crash at the castle section. There's so much happening. It looks like a battle for a lead as well. As we get a safety car. Safety car deployed.
Oh, that is a perfect stop. Oh, wait. No, it's not for Arrow. He had to wait another lap. He's lost so much. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. What's the gap between first and second?
I'm not sure what this means for anyone. But Aerofist Zen is pitted right before a safety car. So he may have lost some time here.
It looks like Arrow is going to be doing the two-stop. He switched to the medium tyre, not make it 20-odd laps here at Baku. So he's doing a two-stop. Probably will switch onto another set of medium tyres, I imagine. Because, yeah, you really don't want to go back onto the softs on a circuit like this where they burn so easily. Robin Hood Lawyer drive-through. Penalty for speeding on the safety car. How many times have I seen that? And the safety car and virtual safety car just going over the delta. Just not managing it properly. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see what these fellas are going to do. Asio, Deathwish Tricky, F1 Racer. And even Black Angel. What is Black Angel going to do? He's on the alternate strategy. Well, this safety car, it's throwing the race up in the air a little bit. I'm not quite
Black
sure
Angel has picked up some wing damage under the safety car. He took the corner a tad bit too hot and happened to nail the wall and picked up a hefty amount of wing damage, as I think he's missing an end plate now. That's very unfortunate for him, as his race was looking great, but now he's going to be almost forced to pit. We'll have to see what he does along with the others. If he pits now, I don't think he's going to lose time to the lead pack.
As well. Then swerve and drive through, speeding on the safety car. So in he comes, Black Angel. So maybe the hards, or maybe another set of mediums. We'll have to wait and see. F1, yeah, everyone's coming in.
I do expect Angel to fix his wing here. And yes, he's holding a front wing, and he puts on the front wing. So Aerofist Zen is back to the race lead under these safety car conditions. And Deathwish Tricky, you end up P2 at a COP3. Maybe, yes, it's COP3 and Nelsie Baby P4. Gold and P5. F1 Racer P6. Black Angel P7. And I think it's Ultimate Gamers in P8. And Championship Leader Blend Machine P9 and Sir Charles P10. So, some championship leaders not doing too well with Blend and Sir Charles.
And Blend electing to stay out on the medium tyre as well. He hasn't come in for a stop, so he's going to try and prioritise track position here over getting a free pit stop. But these hard runners, they'll struggle, but I believe they'll make it to the end of this race. But of course we can't discount another safety car. It does happen here, particularly just after the field has been neutralised like it has. So who knows, it might work out for the championship leader, just staying out and getting that track position. Currently in 9th place, so if he stays there, he's going to score points, which is very critical in his situation. And it seems that F1 Racer has lost a little bit of track position. I think it was P4, if I remember correctly, just before the safety car period. And he's now in P6, just because Golderator and Nelsie Baby pitted just after the safety car came out. Was able to get that track position, effectively get a free pit stop. It's looking good for those two, and looking even better for Haas, now second and fourth.
So Arrow Fist Zen is on a very interesting strategy here. I don't know if the two-stop is the fastest around here. I don't know if he has the outright pace to get a big enough gap to make the two-stop work.
Well, if he pits to another set of mediums, he might be able to do it, because as I said, the softs, they just do not last around this place. They wear too quickly, they get too hot, very difficult to manage. So it'll be, I think, with Arrow, yes, he definitely needs to try and pull out a pit stop gap to Deathwish, but he also just needs to try and think about what tyre is the most appropriate to go onto when he makes his next stop. And also whether or not there's going to be another safety car as well. We're only lap 8 of 26 here at Azerbaijan. A lot of racing still to go ahead, so I'm not sure how that's actually going to pan out, actually. Leader of the race on an alternate strategy.
So as we are under the safety car period, I would like to point out that we currently have 21 viewers on stream. 21. That's a massive amount of viewers for this. Oh, thank you guys for tuning in.
It's absolutely fantastic to see so many people tuning in to the silver class. It is supposedly the lowest rank class out of TCR, but it still produces some fantastic racing, along with the championship battle that's going on throughout this championship. It's still absolutely fantastic to watch. Not at this stage though, which the safety car is still going round. I think it might be in for this lap though, and just we'll be back under green flag.
Look, it looks like Robin Hood Lawyer is still trying to catch up to the pack. Safety car lights aren't off yet. Haven't crossed the sector 2 timing line yet. We'll have to see.
No, it's doing another lap.
And it's going around again, yeah.
So it's going to wait until Robin Hood Lawyer has caught up to the back of the pack. So we'll be definitely on the green flag racing the next time round. Oh, it's in now.
It's in this lap.
It's
okay.
very late.
All right.
It's very late from the safety car. Waited long enough.
So we're getting ready to go back green here from Baku. It's Arrow Fist Zen who still leads the field. It's up to him of when to get this race back going. Eyes on him.
He has to be careful
there he
because
goes.
the car will... He's done well, but it's not a great restart. He's only pulled out 3
side by side for P3. A CO and Nelsie Baby makes the move. Stick. He's into P3. Gold is past the CO as well, and the CO. Big contact between the two of them. Between Gold and the CO, huge contact for them. And F1 Racer is looking past the CO as well. Can't get a good camera angle for some reason, but it looks like that a CO is going to get past him here, and he does.
But Golderate is going to be a massive roadblock. He's got wing damage after contact at turn 2.
Here comes a CO. Back around Golderate.
Golderate goes too deep, way too deep. And hello KGB, where did you come from?
Way wide, and he causes a massive obstacle on the track for a whole lot of drivers. So CO is around it.
Blemichy takes out F1 Racer. Oh my goodness me! He almost took out F1 Racer at turn 7. He just dove it up the inside and almost took out his championship rival. My goodness me!
What a moment between the fiercest rivalry in the league so far. That could have had a major implication. But thankfully they're still okay, and looks like an end plate is laying on the pavement of, I don't know whose it is, but back to the front, it's Arrow Fist Zen who's starting to pull away again, and it's Tricky in P2, Elsie Baby P3, and the CEO's going to have to try and catch back up to the Haas guys if he wants a chance to win this thing.
Look at those gaps as well between the top drivers. They pulled away very, very well. Of course, Golden Raider being that obstacle for some of the drivers in that top 5, it has pushed them back a little bit. But yeah, Arifis then absolutely superb restart, first lap rather. The restart was a bit average, if I do say so myself, but he's done really, really well in that first flying lap. And on the medium tyres, you expect him to do so. He really needs to try and build a gap.
Side by side for P9, it looks like. I think that Steven is going to try and make a move on Ultimate Gamers here for P10, last points bank position. And Steven, he makes the move stick, and here comes Turkey Whacker as he moves up into P11. And Ultimate Gamers is falling through the pack very quickly.
See there as well, Golden Raider had to come in to get that front wing changed. He's now on a new set of medium compound tyres, but he's way down in 17th place. He's going to have to pray for a safety car to come out. Deary me, that was one amazing moment.
Oh! Big moment for Fire Up Flow.
Axio!
Fire Up Flow is going straight into the entry of the castle section. Very unfortunate for the McLaren. There's a Red Bull that spun around. A Red Bull spun around in Sector 2, and it's a CO. A CO spun around. Yep. What's happened to a CO?
I have no idea. I just saw him backwards on the circuit. I'm not sure if he was turned. I'm not sure if he lost it by himself. But what I do know, he is in 16th place from being in the top 5. So it is not a good day for this gentleman who was superbly quick in qualifying, but yeah, now down in 16th place as Black Angel's coming in.
Black Angel, and again, for whatever reason.
Let's see, is his pit crew coming out? Yep, so it's not a drive-through penalty. It's for a new front wing. Oh, I wonder if Angel has anything to do with Acio's incident at the end of the castle section.
You just might.
I know those two are near each other, but you know, I'll just check the warning list and just have a little investigation.
Not a bad theory there. Arrow Fist is in, still leading. Tricky P2. Then it's Nelsie Baby P3, an F1 Racer P4. Yellow flags in Sector 1 again. It's a McLaren as it's Fireball Weebs. I think it's Fireball. F-ball, maybe.
F-ball.
Base sideways into on the exit of turn 3, I do believe, but he gets it back going. So no safety car for that incident as he gets the car back going in the right direction.
Now, F1 racer currently in P4 with his main championship rival in behind in P5. So this safety car restart has worked out well for the Toro Rosso driver. However, he needs to make another stop. So, how long is the stop around here at Barker? I think it's something around 20 odd seconds, if I'm not mistaken. And that will drop him down massively through the order. So I think with Glenn, he'd be praying for a safety car at some stage to try and keep himself in this sort of fight with his main championship rival. Let's see. Oh, Steven's going to try and launch an attack here on Sir Charles. Here we go.
We'll see that they're side by side heading in turn 1. Steven clears them before they even get to the corner. Fantastic move from Steven. Steven into P6.
It's a very straightforward DRS move in this game. It's so easy to just use the DRS, just chuck up the ERS and just pull alongside and just go right on by into the turn. To be honest, it's kind of an insult to how difficult it is in real life Formula 1 to just open a slot on the rear wing and just overtake someone on the straight. But that's the way that this game works. It's heavily slipstream based and heavily DRS based, so not a lot of action other than that. But still, Toro Rosso moves into P6, and it's now looking like a half decent day for the Toro Rosso team.
Yeah,
both of them still need to make a stop. So
a huge rebound for that team. It looks like a Toro Rosso has picked up some wing damage. Coming through the castle section, I do think it's Steven who's missing an end plate. So as soon as we thought that things was turning around for the Toro Rosso team, Steven picks up wing damage. He goes straight to the wall. He missed the braking zone, locked up, and went straight into the wall. Very unfortunate there for Steven. Not going to bring out a safety car though, but he's definitely going to have to make a pit stop here.
Oh, dearie me. I mean, he's actually kind of fortunate, seeing as he wasn't retired from the session. It does happen. Oh, but he has to be so careful. And here comes Turkey Whacker in the Ferrari.
Turkey Whacker's
See how much more
absolutely
pace
flying.
he has.
And that's a routine move for Turkey Whacker there. Steven's going to come to the pits, fix his front wing up, and he'll be back on his way. Looking at the front of the field, trying to find some good battles. Looks like that Blinn is chasing down his championship rival at the moment, so this could be the battle to watch. So don't take your eyes off of this.
We're doing well. And that's about the only battle happening on the circuit at this stage is between F1 Racer and Blinn Machine. Like we said before, Blinn needs to make another stop in this race, so now that I think about it, I don't think the mediums can make it. But that's only because I haven't. Excuse me. That's only because I haven't tried driving the mediums around this circuit for that long. We'll have to wait and see.
If he could get another safety car, then he may be all right. But if this stays green from here to 26, I don't think he's going to be able to make it all those tires. I think he's going to need a safety car of some sort.
But at the moment, our current race leader, R11, and what a superb bit of racing he's just done at the moment. He's opened up a 4-second gap, but it's still not enough. As we said, he has to make another stop, so... Or at least we think he needs to make another stop. I don't think the mediums can last that long, but I've been proven wrong before. So if indeed the Mercedes driver needs to make another pit stop, it is actually a 1-2 for Haas at this stage.
It's about the P7, it looks like. Looks like Dolphin Chaser's moved its way to the P7. CEO's back up to P8. And Black Angel moves up to P9 because it looks like the Turkey.
That's because Turkey.
Yeah, but side by side, it looks like for P10, it's been Swervin and Golden Raider. They're still side by side, heading into turn 2. No one's getting an edge. Oh! Big contact as Swervin goes. As Swervin completely.
That's not work. You have to back it up.
He misses his braking zone, and then Gold just completely slams the wall. So that battle went to absolute shambles. It's unfortunate for both of them because they both pick up some hefty wing damage.
Oh, it's Dolphin Chaser has had a moment. He was in P7. He's now just lost a position to Asio. He's got wing damage as well, the Williams driver. He'll have to come in and get that replaced. Now got Black Angel. Oh, don't go side by side through there, fellas. You don't want to go side by side through the castle section. That's not a good idea at all. Ugh, luckily, KGB just had the sensible nature to just pull out and just let Dolphin Chaser go through, even though Dolphin Chaser's got a massive piece of wing damage.
And Fire Up Flow picks up the first extending penalty of the race, which is very impressive, especially considering that this is strict corner cutting, and that's been the only penalty that we've seen all race. So here comes Black Angel on the inside of Dolphin Chaser. These guys are going to be side by side and going to be in a drag race here. I think that Black Angel was trying to pit, but I think Dolphin Chaser blocked him off. As I'm not sure what's happened here, but Dolphin Chaser goes wide a little bit, and Dolphin Chaser is going to have to tuck in behind Black Angel as it looked like a very interesting exchange there.
Oh, it looked like Dolphin Chaser just moved to the left into Black Angel's wheels there. I'm not sure why he would do that. I'm hoping it was just a bit of lag that I saw, but dearie me, it was some side-by-side contact between those two coming down the pit straight. Yes, Dolphin Chaser's got wing damage as he almost goes into the wall at turn 4. I'm surprised he didn't come into the pits, because he's just going to lose so much time to the drivers behind with the complete wing. With the one yellow, Swervin's out.
Safety car has been Swervin. Retires from the session. I don't know where he's retired at. I think it's turn 2.
Oh,
He's had a moment at turn 2, and yeah, there he is. He's in the wall. So virtual safety car deployed.
Deary me. That's a big impact into the turn 2 wall. It was enough for the car to retire from the session. As Arrow's coming in, he's coming in for a stop, so he's going to try and take advantage of this VSC.
Might be a smart move there from Arrow.
He'll lose out to his teammate. Will Blue Machine go in? No, he won't. Death Wish Tricky has got the drive-through penalty.
A huge moment. A huge moment here at Baku. As the race leader picks up a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC.
Oh, and F1 races into the wall. And Arrow Fitzen's into the wall. He is retired from the session. The race leader, the former race leader, is out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I don't believe it. It's all taking off.
Has been turned onto its head. The guy who looked like he had a race win almost in the bag is turned backwards on the wall. The second place in the championship was put in the wall, but he's okay now. This race went from just a normal race.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at F1 Racer. That is wing damage on his car. He'll have to come in and make it stop, and so will Blend Machine. He's got worse wing damage. P3 and P4 in this race, the championship rivals, both of them have damage.
So Nelsie Baby is in a very good spot now. He seems to be the only one that's in the top 5 that doesn't have an issue of some sort.
Oh, I don't believe it. What was looking like a fantastic day for Haas as a whole. Just a small mistake. I've seen it too many times as a commentator. Just drivers getting too eager on the throttle, on the virtual safety car, on the safety car, and just not managing to the delta. He would be absolutely furious with himself that he's done that, and effectively throwing away a 1-2 finish. Wait a minute. F1 Racer and Blend Machine have to come in.
Oh?
So Charles is the next car. You're kidding.
This could
He's going to still come out in second place. He's coming... Oh, wait, F1 Racer hasn't boxed.
That is absolutely fantastic there from Haas. So Death Wish Tricky now is only down to P3. So we could be lined up for fantastic. And Blend Machine puts on a soft compound tire.
Oh, I don't know about that. They're going to be very dead by the end of this race. But F1 Racer is going to try and hold out on these with this wing. Oh, and Death Wish Tricky. I think he's gone into the wall. He has. Yes. I don't believe it. Into the wall. Front wing damage as well for the driver in P3.
Oh, this race has been turned on its head. I don't even know what to say anymore. Things is happening just left and right. A leader's in the wall there, leader's in the wall there, a leader's out of the race, a leader has a penalty. It's all just kicking off now.
Oh, but he'll be even more frustrated, Death Wish. Just one tiny mistake, just missed a braking zone at turn 4 and into the wall and brakes. Ultimate Gamers has retired from the session in the pit lane. Okay, so that hopefully won't cause a safety car. But he was looking in a good place to re-overtake F1 Racer because he has damage as well. Yep, that small mistake, it might cost him P2 here. But Nelsie Baby is looking really, really good. 8.3 seconds separate him to second place as Ultimate Gamers has now left the session.
And Nelsie Baby, I do believe, is looking for his first win of the season, so that could turn him into a championship contender as well. So let me just get a quick refresher of the point standings real quick. Nelsie Baby is currently P4 in standings. So yes, if he wins here today, that's going to put him into probably P3 of standings. And that'll be his first win of the season. So, fantastic. This race is absolutely ridiculous. So Nelsie Baby's starting to pull away from F1 Racer, it looks like.
as Dolphin Chaser now comes into the pit lane, I believe, to get that front wing fixed. Yep, there we go. And also, we were just talking about it off screen just before the race happened, is that Nelsie Baby has been on fantastic form, has has come second place in 3 of the past 4 races, 3 on the trot, I believe at Hockenheim, at Monza, if I'm not
Monza, I
mistaken.
do believe he finished 9th. I think he had
9th, that's
an
right.
issue or something
Paul
there.
Ricard, Red Bull Ring, and Hockenheim, 3 second places in the row, and then had a poor race at Monza. But now, it just looks like he's back on good form. As Black Angel into the wall as well.
Black Angel to the
Deary
wall.
me.
This
Has he
race
got
is-
damage? No, he doesn't.
What's even
What's
happening
happening
anymore?
Oh
So
my
Black
goodness
Angel
me.
now is trying to defend from championship leader Blend Machine, who's on a much faster tire for now. In about 2 laps time, that tire will be absolutely gone.
Here we go. DRS open. He's going to
Looks
look to the inside.
Black
Be
Angel's
very
going to play defensive a
straightforward
little bit.
move, I
Here he
think.
comes. Blend Machine going to make the move stick with no punches pulled there. So Blend
Yeah.
Machine into P6, no questions asked.
Can Black Angel counter-attack? Not really. With that grippier tyre, Blend Machine is able to put the power down. Put a lot more power down at corner exit. See there, even with DRS, Black Angel isn't able to close the gap between the two, so Blend Machine will hold on to P6, but as you said, for now, because those softs, I think, are just going to be absolutely fried by the end of this race, so we'll have to wait and see. But Sir Charles hasn't made any sort of gains on Deathwish Tricky or F1 Racer. That's because he's got wing damage. Oh my goodness me! I thought Sir Charles might be actually gunning for a podium here, because the last time I checked he didn't have... I don't know, but he's got wing damage. The front left-hand corner of his wing is broken. The missing end plate. I was just looking at his times, and he's been dropping down, losing a lot of time to Deathwish, and losing a lot of time to Axio as well. And let's not forget, the Red Bull driver had a spin coming out of the castle section, lost a lot of time. Now he's in 5th, potentially 4th.
That's very impressive from him, but I would like to point out that Tricky is starting to gain a lot of ground on F1 Racer, so the Haas 1-2 could still be on. And Blue Machine sets the fastest lap of the race as Sir Charles pits to fix the wing damage. So CO moves up to P4, Blue Machine to P5, Black Angel P6, and Golden Raider to P7, Steven P8.
Wow. And where does Sir Charles come out? He comes out P9. Oh, as Fire Up Flow is actually coming into the pit lane as well. And that will move the Ferrari into the top 10. Ferrari have not scored a single point in this championship thus far. We might be on course for them to score a singular point here in Baku, but we'll have to wait and see.
Tricky is right on the gearbox of F1 Racer now, heading into the 3rd and final sector. So we'll see if Deathless Tricky can try and make a move on the pit straight or something. I do imagine he will go for something. The DRS and the slipstream on that long 1.3 mile pit straight.
Drivers have to be careful through these fast corners in the 3rd sector. With that wing damage, they've lost a lot of downforce, so they're going to have to lift a little bit going through those fast bits now.
DRS is turned on. Let's see if Tricky can gain some ground.
Oh, give me a better camera shot, Codemasters. Deary me.
Yeah.
I think Deathwish Tricky might have a...
And this Robin Hood lawyer who spun, I thought that was Nelsie Baby for a moment, and I thought this race just got even crazier, but that was just the Williams of Robin Hood lawyer who spun in turn 2. So sorry for screaming for nothing there. That's my bad. So that was
I
tricky now. Back on the
I've
rear end.
got something to point out, and I'm not sure if I'm correct just yet, but I'm going to make this call. I think Death Wish Tricky has got a mechanical problem with his rear wing. Because I've noticed in both DRS zones he had DRS available, he hasn't used it.
Really?
I think he might have a mechanical failure of some kind with that rear wing.
And one of the worst tracks to have that too, especially at Baku for the final straight. So we'll see if
I'm not quite sure, but I just want to see some outboard footage coming into this sector, because I just noticed on that lap he had no DRS, and he's been holding on to this 8/10 margin. Here we go.
So he's going to come across the DRS activation line right about.
There it is.
Now,
Is it going to open? And now it's open. Okay. Because last lap, that bar was full, but it was flashing orange. It didn't turn green.
Okay.
I just wonder, on that lap, did he know that he had DRS, or did he have some sort of mechanical failure? Because I saw it last lap.
For P4, it's Blend Machine and a CL Blend Machine makes the move stick with no hesitation there. So Blend Machine is on a tear on those fresh, soft tires that are surprisingly holding up after 5 laps.
They'll hold on, but it's whether or not they maintain that sort of pace. I mean, I don't think he's going to get a podium at this stage, but he's going to hang on to a very crucial P4. Now, Death Wish Tricky just gaining ever so slightly on F1 Racer, who makes a slight mistake at turn 7. It's not a big one, just a little one. It's cost him a little bit of time. Through the castle section they go.
He's only a few tenths away now. All he needs is one more small mistake from F1 Racer, and he's there. Heading into the final sector now.
And you can see there, Death Wish abusing the curbs at turn 15. And really use them.
This is going to be his best opportunity to make a move here. He's right on the back end of F1 Racer. We'll see if Tricky can make a move here on the straight. Some yellow flags in Sector 2. I think it's a Ferrari that's around. I think he's got it back going. But Death Wish Tricky now. He's got the RS deployed. Does he try to make a move just yet? He looks to the inside. Here he comes. Does he have what it takes to make the move stick? Who does the better braking? And it's Death Wish Tricky who makes the move. And it's a Haas 1-2 here at Baku.
Well, not quite just yet. Can Racer get a good run out of turn 2? Or both of them get rather shocking ones, to be honest. And F1 Racer, he hasn't chucked up the ERS either. He's going to try and play this a little bit longer. Oh, and almost into the back.
Almost
as
right.
well,
Just
but he pulls it up.
real deep there.
He's going to try and play the long game. He's got 4 laps, rather 3 and a bit laps to go to try and overtake the Haas driver in P2. Let's see. Do we have anything else? We have potential one between Gold Arena and Sir Charles, but I think that's been dealt with. Oh, his F1 race is now really fallen behind Death Wish Tricky. He's out of a 1 second range to the Haas driver, so that might be game, set and match for Mercedes-Benz. I think it might be looking like a 1-2 finish for Haas F1 here at Azerbaijan.
What a fantastic day for Haas, and especially for Nelsie Baby, who's had some great form all season and deserves a race win. And if it stays green, he might be able to pick it up here today if he can keep it on track and keep hitting his marks. I'm looking for more battles in the pack, and I can't really find one.
Not really either. I'm trying to find a couple too. We do have an intra-team battle between McLaren at the moment. F-Ball and Fire Up Flow in P11 and P12. It's just outside of the points. 3.1 seconds behind Turkey Wacker, currently holding that final point scoring position. Good for Ferrari to just take their first point in this championship. But other than that, it seems that everyone's just sort of in their own little world, just going to try and make it to the end of the race at this stage.
So Nelson Baby is still expanding his advantage over his fellow Haas driver. So I don't think that's going to be a challenge anytime soon. So Nelson Baby, all he has to do is hit his marks, and he's picked up his first race win of the season.
Jumps over the curbs. There's Nelson Baby coming into the final sector. And he crosses the
McLarens
line.
side by side right now for P11. Here comes the F ball. He makes the move stick, but he kind of hits the wall a little bit. So Fire Up Flow is going to try and go on the counterattack here. I think the Fire Up Flow will be able to get it done, but it looks like the F ball has got the better straight line speed. They both lock up drastically. Ooh. Wow. Huge moment for both of them.
They do well, both of them. They didn't crash into each other. That's the most important thing. You don't want that as teammates when you crash into each other. They're just racing respectfully at the moment. Hopefully it will stay respectful between those two. Blin is actually making up some time, but it's not going to be enough. He's got 8.6 seconds between himself and F1 Racer, so F1 Racer will come out on top at this stage, and will close the gap between the two drivers coming into the next round. Yeah, I think.
Oh, there's a big moment here at
Turkey Wacker.
As Turkey Wacker's hit the wall, he hit the wall in front of the McLarens, and as Ferrari was looking like to have their first point of the season, Turkey Wacker hits the wall and essentially throws it away. That's very unfortunate for the Ferrari team as the McLaren zoom by him.
Oh no. Oh, I don't believe it. 2 laps to go. That's all he had to do. 2 laps.
Absolutely heartbreaking for Ferrari.
Oh. They were lining themselves up for 1 point. Racing's like that though. As we might actually have a battle for P5 here between ASIO and Black Angel. A bit over half a second separate these two coming through the second sector. Turn 15. You see there 2 completely different lines. Sector 1 yellow. Oh, F-ball!
Oh, and F-ball has
Turkey Wacker in the same.
And Turkey Wacker has so he gets by.
Went up the escape road.
Very interesting indeed there. So Nelson Baby now, the race leader, 13.5 seconds clear of second place. I don't think anyone's going to be able to challenge Nelson Baby here, but back to P5. There's a 10th between them, Black Angel and ASIO. Nothing is separating these guys at all. We'll see if ASIO can try and make a move here heading into turn 2.
ASIO needs to chuck up his ERS. He's on 50-odd%. He needs to use all of it to try and get past Black Angel. Black Angel equally trying to use all of his ERS to try and pull away from the Red Bull. Now, Nelson Baby in the Haas. He kept his nose clean in the first 10 laps. He negotiated the safety car well. And he'll come out on top here in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, so back at the front of the field, Nelson Baby. He hit his marks all race wrong and stayed out of trouble and didn't make a single mistake all race. He was at the right place at the right time, and finally his hard work is going to pay off as Nelson Baby weaves down the 1.3 miles straight, and he comes across the line, and Nelson Baby is going to win here at Baku, and Death Wish Tricky will complete the 1-2 for Haas. F1 Racer will round out the podium. So back at the battle for P5, It looks like that Black Angel will end up and hold off.
Blue Machine has spun! Blue Machine has
spun in the final corner! Blue Machine!
I don't believe it! At turn 19! Oh my goodness me!
How has he done that?
The championship takes a new turn just before the final corner. He's losing so many positions. Is he going to be outside the points? No, he won't. Fire Up Flow is too far behind. But from finishing a potential P4, he will come home in 9th. In 9th!
What has happened to Blend Machine? How did he manage to spin out there? I don't think he had wing damage, did he?
I don't think so, no. I don't know how on earth he lost that. I mean, I see drivers, lose a front wing or two just by running out wide, but he was perpendicular to the wall. It's a very odd place for him to be, but oh my goodness.
On the final corner of the final lap, the championship leader spins, and possibly, and that's going to be a massive hit in the championship as well, especially with F1 racer finishing P3.
So, in TCR, you use the official point scoring points, don't you? So, winner gets 25, second place gets 18. So, third place gets 15 points, if I remember correctly. And 9th place gets 2. That's a 13-point swing towards F1 racer. That closes the gap to 3.
Gap at the top. 3?
7 rather.
Yeah, 7.
7 points, sorry. 7-point gap between the top 2.
That was 20 coming into this race, and coming out, the gap for the championship lead is down to 7.
7.
Because of the final corner of the final lap, Blend Machine spins and throws away over 15 points.
Well, mistakes like that cost championships. Like, everyone talks about how Sebastian Vettel lost the championship in 2018 with that mistake at Germany. Could this be a similar mistake for Blend Machine in the Silver Championship? But you can't take it away from Nelsie, baby. That was a great race.
Cannot. Looking at the final classification here from Azerbaijan, Nelsie Baby takes his first race win of the season, and Deathwish Tricky rounds out the 1-2 for Haas. F1 Racer P3, Black Angel P4, Acio P5, Sir Charles P6, Skoda Ritter P7, Steven P8, and Blend Machine P9 after that incident in the final corner. Fire Up Flow P10 is Turkey Whacker P11, who just misses out on points, and Dolphin Chaser will finish out P12. I don't think I got the full results.
Those were the only drivers that finished. There was only 12 finishers here in Azerbaijan.
And that will conclude a fantastic Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Thank you all for joining us. And don't forget to tune in next week for the...
Well, I kept it a secret for now, but it's time to reveal it. We are going to Formula One's spiritual home. It is one of the most fantastic race circuits on the calendar. The only real way to describe it is just pure racing perfection. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Belgian Grand Prix at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. That's going to be something else, I think.
You do not want to miss that. We expect to have the same commentary crew as today. Me and Smag there again. So we'll come back next week at the same time for the Belgian Grand Prix here from TCR Season 9 for the Silver Class. Tomorrow we have the Gold Class from Baku, and commentary will be taken care of by Blend and some other commentator that I cannot name because I don't know who it is. And then Thursday we have the Platinum Class race, the big boys, and the commentary for that will be JB alongside. Once again, I forgot who's doing the color for.
Yeah, I think it's Dre.
Yeah, Dre. Yes, so JB and Dre will be taking over comms for Platinum Also, in the description, there is a link for Fanatec, and if you buy something from that link, then part of the profits go to the TCR to help improve and benefit the league and to try and spread the TCR name out there more. So, and also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for weekly sim racing content like this. So from the commentary booth, I've been Sister L 43. Good night, everybody.